I want the context, not the story. So
Okay.
I don't get sidetracked because I will.
No, you're good. All right. Context. I made the plea to try and join the SDSO. I went in front of the meeting room. They asked me a bunch of questions. Solved my case. I got reached out to by Toretti, who originally banned me from the SDSO, as well as was the reason why no one was allowed to say flopper. They would get striked. And I got reached out to by the hiring process, and I had said I'd rather it be Toretti to be the one to, be there for my hiring, because he's the guy that, he's the reason why the SDSO hates me. I think it would only be fair for him to sit in my interview for transfer. Long story short, that was a 6-month process of waiting. And in that time, I was offered Rangers twice. First time was no, because I wasn't going to be a Nepo hire. Second time, I said yes, because it was a genuine invite.
Well, there you go.
And then they thought that I flaked on the SDSO.
That was kind of like that was like the kicker at the end.
That was the real kicker. Oh yeah, I didn't. It was just because they failed to get together, and the one time they did, I was in an investigation. But yeah, they never forgave me for that.
Yeah, well, that's life sometimes. That's just how it goes.
Oh yeah.
But here, so I'm like I said, this is kind of just the way that I see it. I think like we all know there's folks that are going to want to be a part of the sheriff's office that are already a part of the LSPD.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to.
One thing that I don't agree with, I never have. I know it's how it goes, but I remember people, they're a cadet for 6 months. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, come on now. I mean, how are we going to have somebody be a cadet for 6 months? How are we going to have somebody be, hell, more so it was like you'd be dispatched for 6 months until you can finally get an interview and get hired for the PD, and then you're a cadet for like two months. I mean, it's just like, holy shit, I don't like any of that. I think things need to move way faster in general. It's just
how
just
do
crazy.
you do that? That's the problem. And we are not the first people to sit in a circle and debate this topic. We will not be the last.
You're right.
Because it is like,
I mean, it's an age-old question.
Ruby and I literally talked about this like hours ago in terms of like how much opportunity do you want to give somebody before it's just like they're not going to learn and you have to get rid of them. And it's really difficult for me because when we find these people that I think are great fits to be here and be a part of this department, but just can't grasp the police work side of things and they take longer, it's just, I don't know.
There's something that I told somebody, and I'm going to bring up their name because they're the first cadet I ever said this to, but I think that there's a lot of value. You guys remember Penny, right?
Yeah.
Penny Lane, yep.
Penny came to me and she was really upset and she was really stressed out. And she had said that she was a little worried because she thought that she wasn't good enough and she felt that she was learning at a slower pace than a lot of other people. And I told her something that I told her this, and it's the same message and same empathy that I would give anybody else. As long as you are willing to learn, I don't care how long it takes. If there's anything Penny has that stands out from a lot of people, not in the PD, I would say most of the PD falls in line with this. It's their personality. Penny has a lot of personality. It is easier to teach someone to be an officer than it is to teach someone to have a very personal, I guess, grasp with others, right? And for me to say the process needs to move quick, I agree. But I also think there are people who are willing to learn, but learn at a slower pace. And that is fine. Speaking as someone who was someone that learned at a slower pace. I was a cadet for like 4 to 6 months. Granted, that was between my solo phase. But I do think that giving people that opportunity to learn at that slower pace, not everybody, but being able to allow it, I think in the long run is incredibly healthy.
Yeah, no, there's a difference between allowing something and somebody being stuck in a situation, right? Like I remember I just remember a guy, and it's still a problem now. It actually blows my mind how this ain't. It does and it doesn't blow my mind
Wait, which
that
thing?
this is still a problem. The turnover rate of not turnover, the throughput rate of getting cadets in and having them actually get work in and get to patrol, get to ride with FTOs, all that. I feel like our entire process of how this is done is it's ancient. I mean, it's been like this for
Okay.
8 to 10 years.
And I agree with you, but what is the alternative?
So here's what I like. Let's say I'm in charge of our entire training, top to bottom. It's
This is
like okay,
this is gonna be like an 8-hour conversation, by the way.
well I'll bullet point. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, just at some point.
Don't point and don't use bullets, please. God, I'm scared.
okay. So I'm gonna hash mark it. Okay. So
You're gonna
I
smoke
don't think
weed?
no, I ain't doing damn marijuana. All right.
You know, 5,
what-
10, 15, 20, that's what he's talking about, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like football hash marks. So, how I feel about it is if we went and for every cadet that we brought in, we had them assigned an FTO, and you have your FT. I know, like everybody, oh, FTO burnout, this yada yada yada. Look, you need to be able to check out of being an FTO, and you need to ask, hey, I need to take a break from being an FTO. Okay, that's fine. You're not currently an FTO. That's okay. Right. And we, if you want to come back, you're welcome to. We just have to talk about it. So there's not no damn weird pressure. There's no, oh, I don't want to lose my FTO. This is like a status symbol thing. No, who cares? Right. Okay. Yeah, there ain't no dumb shit like that. Because I feel like we have a major lack of communication. You know, that's the age old problem for us here in the PD. But we have a major lack of communication on what is expected of FTOs on a regular basis, right? And I also think there's a lack of communication between FTOs because what ends up happening is you look around and you see people in queue, and then everybody's just kind of looking around and like, who's going to be the guy? It's pretty, I swear
Yeah,
that
there's
happens.
gonna be that guy to take initiative.
Yeah, who's going to be the guy who's going to take these guys out? You know, I saw Thursday. You know, I guess we told the new cadets, hey, Thursday is the day. It's Thursday is your first day. Show up Thursday, you'll be good to go. But there's a major problem with that because what job have you ever had in your life where you go and you show up and are told this is your first day at work, and when you get there, you're saying, okay, hold on, we can't even have you go through training yet until somebody decides that get in line, and then until somebody decides that they want to take you out, you know, that's whenever you get to start going through your training session. Like, to me, that's insane. I think anytime you have a new recruit coming in, or excuse me, a new cadet coming in, hey, you're going to start on Monday, you're going to start on Tuesday. Give them a specific day in which they will start individually after the academy.
Sorry, that's what I wanted.
You know, you give them that specific date that they start, and they have an FTO assigned to them. This will be your FTO for that day. This is going to be your mentor, right? And we assign it to them based on how we see them and their personality going. Now, this ain't a permanent thing, and this doesn't necessarily mean that an FTO can't FTO somebody else. In fact, I believe they should. But for your first session, you have an FTO session with who we would determine as an FTO that would be a good fit based on personality, skill set, etc., for that particular cadet, and they're their mentor. So they do an FTO session with their mentor, first session. But they know that I'm showing up to work. I start on Thursday. I come in, 5 o'clock, shift 2, boom, we're good. And they don't have that sort of like kind of you don't feel let down whenever they come in, you know? Because I think that does happen sometimes where people are like, they're excited, they're ready to go, and they sit in the office for 3 hours, and it's like, okay, you can't be on duty, you can't go do nothing else. You know, in my opinion, if we have people just sitting around waiting, throw them in the damn cells and just, hey, go observe, go watch how other officers process, because that is a major point of weakness and is the
We
hardest
had
thing. Go ahead.
we had like people have experimented a lot with stuff like this, and we, there was an idea that was tried out long ago. Well, not long ago, but it was like after your time in that kind of like gray area. It was called Legion Square Patrol,
Huh.
where
Okay.
essentially all cadets that were like, you know, not solo cadets, they were just standard cadets. They could get out there, and within the 3-block radius of Mission Row, they could patrol normally. Within that 3-block radius of Mission Row.
Yeah. See, I think that is like, why at that point, why put them right outside of Mission Row?
We just put them all on bike patrol so that they can always be doing something.
See, to me, it's about the learning experience, right? It is not hard to teach someone how to patrol. Just truthfully, patrolling is it's the most important thing that we do, because
Teaching them how to do it is not hard, but getting them to the standard that we tried to search for is what the difficult part is what takes time.
sure, I get that, but to
And
me,
for them to not
that-
be liabilities.
well, here's the thing. To me, that part that you just said is something that you cannot learn on your own.
Just a
being
good
out there
conversation.
patrolling on bike or foot patrol or whatever. That is something that you need to be with an FTO with. The specific part that you said, which is actually getting them up to standard. Now, something that they cannot learn in any other circumstance, any other situation outside of being a lawyer, is watching people process and understanding the negotiation and seeing what different officers do, learning different things that different ways they approach. I'm like, for me, processing is so easy for me. I mean, I go in there, and especially after being a lawyer, and the way I can articulate shit to them, they're like, okay, you know, guilty. What the hell? Look at that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Hey, tow truck on. Oh, whatever. Saw it in the reflection of my phone.
No, you're good. So if we were to do that, I'll give my 2 cents on this. If we were to do that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna half measure this. I agree with you. We should have people there to listen, take notes, learn, be on their MDT, follow along. Under zero circumstance can we have these officers speak to or have any interaction with these people. If they are not being followed by an FTO, I remember a while back, years ago, we had an instance where we had cadets who wanted to listen, take notes, learn about the MDT, at the time the MDW, and learn how it functioned and how it operated.
Okay.
And there was an instance where someone said, hey, my cuffs are a little stuck. Could you come help me? And one of these people who was very green walked into the cells,
Classic.
uncuffed the person, locked the door behind them to be safe. And now we were dealing with a hostage situation with someone who was not even 48 hours old wearing a badge. So there would have to be stipulation on this to avoid them being harmed. Listening, taking notes, articulation, asking questions, I personally don't see an issue with it. Interaction with this person, whoever they're arresting, I think for sake of safety and liability reasons, not a chance.
Right. No, and these things happen. Well, what I'm saying is not that they help in processing. What I'm saying is they essentially shadow the officers. Yeah. So they're sitting there and they're watching them, and they're taking notes and they're learning. They're not actually getting involved in the processing itself. But if they want to ask a question to somebody afterwards, like, hey, I had a question about this thing that you did there, feel free, right? You know, just let them do their thing and they just get to watch. So So yeah.
I think processing might be the only thing that we can get cadets to do that doesn't involve being with an FTO. And what I mean by that is driving, you need to be with an FTO in a car, learning how to drive the vehicle. Roads, maybe you could listen to radio and just listen, sure, but that's not really going to help you unless you're monitoring the call and learning the roads on your own time. You're really going to be in the field to learn that. Cardinal direction, you'll learn that in the field too. Shit like that, you have to learn in the field. I do think that one area that takes longer than all of those, well, maybe not road names. Road names, I still get tricked up with road names every once in a while, but I think processing is a slow process, and I think we, as an FTO, I harp on the idea of making sure that we get cadets learning processing, and I actually would say we don't do it enough.
Yeah.
Now, that's not a bad thing. I think we do it enough to get people to understand what they're doing, but even after you're a full officer, you're going to continue to learn different charges to articulate.
Yeah.
I think the longer cadets learning about different situations and learning different forms of articulation is going to form a better officer. I do agree with that. Because we do adhere to the law, and understanding it is so important.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So do you think it would be a good idea to have the cadets allow them to be able to sit in the cells and be able to watch?
I don't see an issue with it as long as they understand that they are to not have any
Actually
physical,
get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot. And if they
No,
do,
see,
it would be as simple.
That's
you go
exactly
off,
what I'm thinking.
yeah. If they get involved, they would have to be sent off duty and told no more. It would have to be very set ground rules, I think. Because the last thing I want to hear is 78s, cadets being held hostage at gunpoint in a cell. Because if I have to hear that, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I mean that. When's the last time something like that's happened though? Truthfully.
A couple weeks ago, an individual held a lawyer up with a knife in an interrogation room.
Oh shit.
That wasn't a cadet. That was I didn't get the full context after the fact, but I know that did just
Yeah, it was
happen.
Fredo. It's Fredo rolling.
God damn it, Fredo. Why does that not surprise me?
I don't know.
I'm just spitballing.
And I
Either
know there was an
way.
idea like years ago that never got like really fleshed out, and it was like you had FTOs for specific things, like somebody that was really proficient in processing, somebody that was really proficient in pursuits, somebody that was really proficient in traffic stops, you know, and you would essentially have to ride with each one of these people like at a minimum of once to get like properly acclimated to what everybody was saying.
You would definitely get a lot more quality and quantity on that.
Yeah.
I think you and I both kind of, I mean, I'll even say the three of us probably have on our mind though is possible, you know, future burnout with those people too, right? We want those people to get out and do that, and that's great, but for how long, right? It's like an FTO. I'll be honest, I couldn't tell you the last time I actually had the chance to take a cadet out between setting up this academy, doing interviews, the month of February where I frolicked. I just haven't had
Sounds like
time.
it, yeah.
And, you know, I do worry that if somebody's given that burden, oh, you're really great at driving, you know, hey, Lucas, every cadet's going to have to ride with you and understand driving and do it, and you're going to have to teach them. At what point does that become, you know, an over encumbrance for that person? It's not a bad idea, to be clear. Longevity is obviously going to come into question.
So, I mean, this is kind of like
This is a good conversation, man.
there's a couple of ways to look at it. You have this be something that other people, excuse me, you have this being something that different FTOs know what they're good at, right? Whenever I was FTOing, what am I really good at? I'm good at showing people how to interact with folks as a police officer
And how to shoot a gun.
and how to shoot a gun. So that is something that I pay particular attention to make sure to have new folks understand. So I know what my strengths are. I almost had this like as a subconscious thing where, hey, if this person is like weak in a certain category, hey, let's go have them ride with, go ride with Bones because we need you to be better in pursuits. You need to learn the city better. Go ride with Bones, for example. I'm just using Bones as an example, right? This guy, his processing is weak. Send him with Aziz. His scene control could use some work. Send him with, send him with Barrack. Send him with Slacks, right? Just different people have these. Excuse me.
What do we think about this conversation so far? I think this is pretty good.
Yep. They need to learn how to take a break and take a chill pill. Send them to flop.
If the fruit could hang any lower from that tree, it'd be in the fucking dirt, Eric. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like a. Sorry, it was I think I choked on my spit and then I started. Yeah, it didn't
It's
feel
not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Sorry, it's just the knife injury, the wound.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that doesn't necessarily mean that is their job and that is the only thing they teach them, right? But you just know that naturally it's like a halfway point in between, like what you were saying, as far as like having like a specialist, like this person trains that thing, and because you still teach them everything, but like you just know to focus on a certain thing. Like this FTO focuses on a certain type of thing, even if it's like unofficial, Truthfully, I feel like you said, this could be like an 8-hour conversation or something, but I really think that sometimes I think you just got to be aggressive, and you sometimes just got to hell, just put your foot on the gas pedal and go, and a lot of times we have paralysis by analysis. I feel like that's what was happening a lot. And
That was a lot of big words. What the fuck did he just say?
I don't think it's
What's up,
happening
Alex?
as much as it was, but there's definitely some degree of paralysis by analysis. And we're sitting there thinking about how to do something so long and getting everybody's 2 cents and everybody's opinions, when at a certain point, like, we just got to make a decision and go. And if it don't work, hey, we're quick to try something and we're quick to make change if we need it. That's the way that I like to approach things. If we don't like this, boom, we're gonna call an audible and we're gonna send it. We're gonna do something else. That's okay, because we're gonna make mistakes that way.
What is he eating?
But at
I'm
least
so
we're not
fucking
sitting on our
hungry.
ass not
Fuck you,
doing it.
S-Fan, you piece of shit. What is he eating?
Yeah, that's how it should be.
God, I want to get food now. I think this is a needed conversation. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I need to ask a question to, I think you, Barrack. What power does Duncan have? Can you tell me to run a lap now?
No.
Thank God. He threatened me. He looked at me and goes, Flop, your days are numbered. Wait till I get to tell you could run a lap. And you know what? For a minute there.
Ruby punched me in the face and then tried to tell me to run a lap.
Did you do it?
Hell no. I don't care
that's
if
my
it's
ass,
one
Chief.
month.
In this month? Oh my God, Barrack, you're fucking done for, bud. Good luck.
I don't care what fucking month that is.
Chief position better be open. Good job. Good one.
Yeah, because actually, thank you.
Nah, I don't know. I think we're moving in the right direction. I told Alice yesterday or the day before, I said we are going to have to just give it our 100 for at least another 2 months. We're going to have the interviews, then we're going to have the academy, then we're going to have training. And by the time we are done, I told her flat out, I said, at least for shift 3 into 1, I see a light at the end of the tunnel. And without speaking, what?
Who should be the 2 sergeants in shift 3?
Didn't you already ask me this?
Yeah, but I'm asking you again.
Do not tell me that you haven't made a decision. You got like an hour and a half to make this choice, Barrick.
Just tell me, who do you think they should be?
Well, where am I being slotted? Because I'll be able to answer that question.
It's up to you.
It's up to me.
I just want to sit down with y'all and be like, hey, do some of y'all want to do this? Do some of y'all want to sit back so that somebody else has a chance?
I told you, I'm going to tell you what I told you originally. And yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but I genuinely mean this. I want you to slot me where you see me best fit. As for sergeants, been there once, I'd do it again. Sergeants, I mean, shit. You won't take one of the seniors that you just hired, right?
I would take one of the officers and make him a sergeant.
Oof. Let me look at the shift 3 roster. Give me a second.
You don't have, you're looking at your phone, you don't have that thing memorized?
The shift 3 full roster?
Yeah.
Hell no. What are you kidding me? I barely know my social on hand. What the fuck?
How the hell are you supposed to be game warden?
That's what I'm saying.
You see, this is and I feel like it's kind of selfish of me thinking this way, but I almost don't. I want to save the people from being promoted now so that they can be promoted later.
Yeah.
In the department.
You think about things very much the way I think about them, and it's very odd.
Yeah, it's hard to explain a lot of the time.
Yeah, if I feel like if people don't get it, then like you either think that way or you don't. I don't know a whole lot of people that understand
it's a lot of foresight.
that line of thing. Yeah.
Very foresight, yeah.
I try and look at things like this because I think we're all on the same page with that. I will say this too, though. I think you have lost potential if down the road you're talking about something that could take a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
don't think it's a year. Personally, I think the latest that the sheriff's office does come
I was talking about Rangers.
Summer. Well, I see them both hand in hand to a certain extent. But I think summer is probably the realistic or like the latest point in time. And I kind of hold those to be hand in hand pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
this is where and I'll be honest with you guys, this is where the real trouble came. And I really had to divert a lot of my thought process. Like when I first showed like interest in this kind of position or what was commissioner at the time, the entire plan that I had developed was around that idea that I'm going to have to kind of like string things along in 3 departments over the course of the next like 6 months to a year. And that entire thing was like just burned.
Yeah.
Easily. So I've had to like pretty much my entire plan that I developed like before getting into this position was just like out the window.
That's fair. I don't want to steer too far.
But I still have that because like I do think like if I'm being entirely honest, like
I don't know, man. Have you ever just sat in the dirt? This shit can get
I want
comfy.
to promote Alice and Sky.
Really? Okay.
Because they have not had the opportunity before to be in that kind of position. And the likelihood of them Like,
Oh God, I think Barrick just slipped.
what the fuck? Did anybody else just hear that?
No,
No.
What?
I think Barrick just slipped.
That was terrifying.
What'd you hear?
I think Barrick just slipped.
It's like a helicopter.
What the hell?
I don't know. I just realized.
Us crazy ones. They put me in a box.
A room.
Yeah, Sky and Alice, and then ideally, you know, someday down the road, like you would have some kind of position in the Rangers.
So
See, there it goes again. I knew I was wrong.
There it
yep,
goes.
there's the helicopter.
Real
It's
quick,
a plane, but
Man, whatever.
you asked me the question before on who the 2 sergeants should be.
yeah.
I do think, wholeheartedly, personally, I do think Pinzone makes my list. I think Pinzone is an amazing leader, and I think he's very level-headed to make reasonable decisions.
I agree, but that doesn't mean that there won't be a third. Here's my thing. Like, I believe it should be Alice or Sky now, and then the lieutenant for shift 3 is chosen between the two of them. And during that time, when they are promoted, Pinzone is made a senior, and then when one of them becomes a lieutenant, then Pinzone becomes a sergeant to replace them.
I gotcha.
So I gotta ask you a question. In your mind, what does a sergeant do? Like, what do you see a sergeant doing? Like, what is their job?
They're basically like a field warrior, and they handle like search warrants and subpoenas and stuff like that. Handle very minimal, like back end stuff, and promote people.
Okay, that's the same way I see it.
What do you see a lieutenant doing?
Yeah,
They
that's my
are
next
the
question.
de facto shift lead across the board, and they kind of set the tempo for the type of person you're going to be, the type of people that we want in those shifts. And then they have more back end work than the sergeants.
So, like an office person, you would say?
No,
Oh, thank God. Okay.
a street person, but
Thank
occasionally we'll have
God.
to step into the office.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to defer to your pick as to who you see for shift 3.
I think lieutenant is very much what the captains have been this entire time,
I agree.
just without the high command work.
Yeah, I think.
Ooh. I do have a question.
Mhm.
Okay, so if that's the case, then what do captains do right now?
Well, they're not going to exist. I'll just put it
You want to
plainly.
completely get rid of them.
I'll just be honest. There's going to be one. There will not be a captain in every shift anymore.
I kind of
Okay.
got that from our conversations.
Yeah.
And to
So
be honest,
who's your pick? I'm curious. Or do you want to hear who my pick would be?
Who's your pick?
If there is one captain and you have the majority of the rest of the leadership around at different times, I think there's a few people that you pick. But I would say probably Anita May.
Yeah, I mean, just being straight honest.
You want to be a shift 1 person?
I mean, it's either to me it is either Anita or Viv to fill that spot. It's one of the two.
I have a question.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a vision as to where you would seat Slacks?
Yeah,
Because
he's a sergeant. He'll be a sergeant or the lieutenant of shift 2, and he will lead the detective unit.
I
There you
think
go.
And he will build the entire thing himself.
I know the unpopular answer would be what we already have. But I think the one thing Slacks does stand out with, he has his quirks, he has his moments, I will admit. He's willing to listen, have conversation, and I think most importantly, he typically, most of the time, will make himself available most hours of the day. And I think that that's a very valuable thing to see.
Yeah, it's very valuable, but that is not what he is best at. And I'm very interested in putting people in the positions where they would succeed the most and be able to do the most good. And
That's
to me,
fair.
that is that spot.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, hell,
I talk to him not like straight one-on-one as I have like a lot of other people, but I can tell that he very much wants to create a detective unit.
I think Barrick might have I'm second guessing if Flop's
Whoever's
getting
heading up
promoted.
something big like that should not be held down by everything else that's going on. That should be able to be their primary focus.
yeah, I also want to say, I think that Slacks absolutely should be a sergeant instead of a captain.
Nobody. Here's the reality. Nope. Regardless of what fucking position that guy is in, nobody is going to look at him any differently.
Right. But it's
he
his
might take
responsibilities.
yeah, he might take an extra few punches just from being a natural punching bag, but nobody's going to look at him differently. Nobody's going to treat him any differently. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
You're just not going to have the ring, and somebody else is going to be in that position, and it's going to work out better overall because Ruby is going to cover all of shift 2. I'm going to cover shift 2 and 3, and then Viv or Anita, whoever it ends up being, will cover like shift 1 and 2.
Barrick did bring up Sky and Alice,
or like the first early
which
part.
leads me to believe
And then we have
that
full
Flop
shift coverage across
could
the board.
be possible lieutenant, which would be a terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's money. Now, I will say this, and I have a very good opinion of her. Don't get me wrong.
Did we foreshadow that in an hour, Flop's gonna be the new fucking lieutenant? I don't know.
Very few concerns, but I do have concerns with Viv on how she approaches things sometimes.
Me too.
She's kind of snappy. She will see something and she kind of fixates on it, and she kind of has to get it out there. And I think she has a hard time letting things sit and wait. And it is probably the only real flaw that I can think of as far as her being a leader goes. And I think if she ain't dumb, she's got common sense, she does her job well, she's talented, she for the most part communicates with people well, except for whenever she has those moments here and there where it's like, you know, just take a step back for just 1 minute, just hold your horses. So I think Viv is fantastic, but I just, for her sake and putting her in a position where people start feeling a certain type of way about her or something, I think that's the one thing I would really like to see her kind of master and work on before she ends up having a spotlight kind of showing on her like that, to where people are going to start, you know, kind of picking at cracks in the wall.
Lead by example.
That makes sense.
I will say this: the incident that occurred with the shift 3 officer that shall go unnamed. I know, Barrick, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know how out in the air that is. I'll talk about it if you think it's of value. But after the conversation that Viv had with that officer, it did surprise me, and it was the one thing that I did bring up when that happened. Was I would hope that Viv would get at least talked to about the way that was treated on that scene.
Wait, are you talking about the Forte thing?
But here's like the thing: she didn't even have to be spoken to about it. She realized it after the fact, and then spoke to me about it.
And that's fair. That's news to me, right?
This is with Forte, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these kind of things are like, to me, it's like incredibly important is to be able to have the hindsight to be able to recognize your own mistakes
Absolutely.
and see the flaws in your own actions.
I would agree with that. But what you just said is exactly why Viv is so like that's why I think she's great. I didn't even know that happened, by the way. I knew about the incident, but I didn't know that happened after the fact. But I'm not even remotely surprised. And those are the good things that I see about Viv. I just don't want her to end up getting put in a situation where, because here's the thing, it's that kind of that snappiness that I was talking about. She she did it with Forte, but she immediately was like, okay, I didn't approach that right, and then she went and talked about it to you, or you said she came to you after she snapped a Forte.
Ah, fuck.
So
Wait.
okay.
Already on Bay Tree Canyon. I might be able to beat it at 68.
Passing the military base, going off-road right now. They'll go northeast.
125 and Freak.
It's in the military base, going south back towards Route 68.
Copy that.
Flop, Lucas has been kidnapped by Dickhead. Demand is that you go bald.
Copy. Break. Lucas is calling me. Stand by. Lucas, what's up?
Hi, Flop.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
What do I tell him?
28 Motors, northbound Los Santos Freeway, 76.
Hello? What do I tell him? Oh. You know. Oh. 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 What should I tell him?
Approaching Route 68.
Oh,
Right now.
he wants your head shaved and your mustache.
My mustache
So
is
then he
still
won't
gone.
kill me. He said his mustache is still gone. He don't got one.
He wants me to shave?
He said go buy another fake one, and he wants to see you take it off and hand it to him.
Okay, all right. I can do that. I need
Flop said I can do that.
just tell him to give me a few minutes to make that happen.
Moving or stable?
He said he just wants you to give him a few minutes so that he can make it happen.
Yeah, they're up on Mount Josiah, likely pushing toward the tower or Cassidy Trail, one of the two.
He said that you, Flop Dugan, got only 4 minutes.
Okay.
Because I'm not
All right.
sure that's
I'm going right now.
appropriate.
I'm already at the barber shop. Tell him it's already getting shaved right now.
Cutting
Tell him.
across now to Josiah.
Oh,
Tell him it's already being shaved, Lucas.
Looking at me and telling me where I'm headed.
Let him know. Let him know. Just tell him right now.
his head's already being shaved. He's shaving his head. No, don't kill me.
All right.
No.
Can you?
No, we don't want me to die. Please don't kill me.
Can you ask Dickhead if it's okay if I have the ability to call you back when I'm done?
Is it okay if Flop calls me back when he's done? Yeah, he said that's okay.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll call you back.
Okay. Bye.
All right, break for a sec. I just got off the phone with Lucas. Dickhead wants me to shave my head, get a new mustache, and hand it to him for Lucas. So I am shaving my head.
Looks like Wick is going to be the first to intercept.
Oh.
Hey, firm. It's we have them. They're
Oh my
stationary on the side of the mountain.
All right, hold
here.
on. Sam Bass is back, baby! Woo! What's the current status?
Negotiating.
Copy. I will be there in like 2 minutes. I'm grabbing a new fake mustache.
Report.
I also need gas or I'm not gonna make it. Okay.
180. To the units that are now arriving, we should probably try and set up a perimeter to each direction to the base of this mountain. North, south, east, west.
You want me to call Dickhead and just ask him to not do this?
Stand by on that. I've already got my fake mustache. I'm on the way.
188. I'll be on the dirt trail to the south of the base of Mount Josiah.
What's the 20 of negotiations?
At the radar tower, top of Josiah.
Right next to the radar tower.
Copy. ETA 2-3 minutes. I'm on the way.
Is it more viable to set up a perimeter there at the base of the radio tower?
They're on the spine. They're on the spine as it runs east-west.
Yeah, we kind of cut them off.
Okay, hi guys. I'm talking to D-Head. Lucas is okay. He is sticking firm on his demands. That Philop needs to shave his hair and his mustache.
It's already done.
Oh, I'm sorry, Flop. What's your status, Flop? Where are you?
Mentally or physically?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Route 68, Harmony area. I'm en route.
Okay.
Mateo,
Do you
sorry,
think that we should ask him if we can move to like a safer area?
I'm gonna delegate that to whoever's on scene to make that call. I'm not there.
if you can get him to agree to that, sure, but I'd say it's probably unlikely.
All right, I'll ask.
Mateo, you should probably not come up the mountain. We're gonna need somebody down at the very base of the mountain to pursue just in case something happens.
Oh man, dude, Flop gonna look like a
I'll just say,
fucking.
like in the Zancudo area.
We're back to
maybe
Egghead,
actually
baby.
inside
Let's
the park,
go.
on the main road.
13423 Rotten Canyon.
Or once we get Lucas recovered, right?
If Lucas is just unharmed, nothing's been stolen, anything like that, we'll see.
What is this man's infatuation with me?
Okay, well, they're just, yeah, chase them.
125, one mic out.
Back on comms, just update 20.
Top of Josiah, one mic out. I've shaved my head. I'm about to hand over mustache number 2.
Kid fell down the mountain.
I got ejected coming down.
He let me out the car. He's leaving. Southbound up the fucking mountain.
We're not opening fire, right?
Negative. But you're unharmed, Lucas, correct?
Yeah.
Copy, yeah. Do not open fire, just pursue. Increased aggression.
Updated 20.
Looks like they're heading southbound on the GPS here towards Port Zancudo.
Copy.
Off-road.
Oh no! He really is a dickhead. He made Flop shave his head. He didn't even have to. What vehicle is he in?
1-4, I'm breaking up the latest 13 Alpha. She was with Amber Quinn.
A firm.
Back to the city.
We still need units to stick. 22. Let's get a bunch of units to try and get down to Bell.
Do we have any eyes on the fleeing suspect at all, or no?
We haven't had comms on it in a minute.
Okay, so I'm assuming Dickhead is UTO. 76 to the 13 Alpha.
Affirm.
188 sim traffic. 180. I never had eyes on any vehicle come down the south slope of the mountain. That was the only comment that I could give.
Copy. I got no visual. I'm 76 from Great Ocean Highway. What's the nearest unit right now?
141, I'm 76 Del Perro right now. I'm roughly Mike out as far as the 13 Alpha.
Copy.
Do we have EMS nearby or no?
We have EMS by the hospital, but...
Hey, firm, that's where the 13 Alpha happened at the hospital, I believe.
Oh my god.
Do you have EMS with the Alpha?
The Alpha is in the wards with us with the doctor.
This hustling fuck!
I think something happened inside the locked rooms of the ER.
Copy. One for one arrival. CMC. Inside the hospital.
Pretty much looked like she got punched out.
Do you know about who?
Unsure. Moose brought her to the
Fuck!
141, I got two 47s in front of me next to Bell. She's getting cheered right now. I'll get an update as far as what's going on, but we can downgrade.
The fuck was
to
that?
78s.
God, I looked away for 2 seconds. What'd I hit?
Hey, 178's like 1 minute out.
We want a code 6 for Dickhead?
We should, hey.
Absolutely.
188.
We swap cars.
166.
Hi, Amanda. How you doing?
166 from 188 direct.
I was gonna call you today. I slept in though.
Let's see which private room she was in, because I'm looking, I cannot find the suspect.
Reference latest 911.
It's literally at the beach right off the Zancudo turnoff on the Great Ocean side.
Slacks, what's the status at SMH right now? Or yeah.
Looking for Amber Quinn who knocked out.
Are there any clowns involved? I got a clown running away from the hospital.
If it looks like Chatterbox, that's Ember.
Oh, it's like in all yellow with like a little scrunch beanie thing on.
Yeah, it looks like Stumbles.
We're gonna stay mobile around the hospital and see if we see anything.
Copy. 125 is gonna reroute to that 911.
Chief's checking the roof. I'm checking the backside of CMC.
Where the fuck is that 911?
10-9, you comes, what time?
Mine, sir?
Yeah.
Apologies. I'm rerouting to that 911 from Murphy Braun up north real quick. Are you Ocean King?
Hey, we're looking for Chatterbox who knocked out Officer Bill.
Copy that.
It's not Chatterbox. It looks
Not
like
Chatterbox, it's Ember. Ember
It's
dressed like Chatterbox.
Affirm.
Correct.
188. In relation to the latest 911 from Murphy Braun, there are no on-duty officers in that area that the 911 call is coming from or along the shore. Not sure if we have an officer that's actually kidnapped or an off-duty one, because they're saying that a cop was dumped.
I'm gonna go check the 911 and see what's going on. It could have been in reference to Lucas. I don't know where Lucas was taken from.
I was kidnapped on the intersection of Greaterson Highway and West Boulevard at the gas station.
Copy.
So you probably came back for the cop car and dumped it afterwards when he lost y'all.
Passing left.
Did anybody recover Lucas's car?
We're gonna code 6 the area from that 911. All right. There goes the gas budget for today. Hey, gas budget's fucked.
One for one. I've got update 20 on Dickhead. Need permits. Most souls. Sending us that way.
26.
Hey, firm 125.
If you get a CMC, you need me to pick you up.
Nah, I should be Ocean King.
Cheap.
I can just spin with slang.
Mr. Braun, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
What the hell happened? Are you okay?
I was just sitting here thinking about the 6 hours of bench trials that were pretty
166 is
consequential
23
for
at
people.
the clip
And
gas station,
Dickhead
but
happened to
Forrest said
drive by,
was
and I was like, "What the fuck are
unless
you doing
someone
here?"
retrieved
He's
it.
like, "I
125,
just kidnapped the cop.
23 now, one.
He's I dumped him up there somewhere. I should probably go." And then I heard some police cars go by. Then
Status
he
on the
said he
unit
considered
apartments?
kidnapping me, but he didn't. And then
Code
he eventually
4
left.
at the apartments.
Did he say who he kidnapped?
4 will
A
continue to
cop.
code 6.
Just he said I
Was
kidnapped.
he seen in a vehicle, or what was the?
Okay. I think that correlates
the
with what we
idea?
have. Okay.
But I do believe he referred to northbound as like the general direction where he dumped the cop.
That would line up with, I believe, what we have. Okay.
Okay.
Which way did you see him go from there? Did he continue north or did he go south?
I think he might have he drove off the beach north, but I think I heard him go south. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. All right.
Obviously
Noted.
Hard to see the road from right.
All good. All right. We'll go ahead and continue our investigation. I think we actually have some grounds of possible leads, so we'll go from there. They would correlate with your story. So.
All right. Yep. Yeah. He just he knew I was gonna have to call this in, so he just basically sat here for a minute and like debated with himself whether to just kidnap me or say fuck it.
Well, I'm glad he made a proper choice for once. Holy crap.
Oh, me too.
All right. Well, give me just a second. Bro, I just had a bug fly in front of my face. Scared the shit out of
I'm
me.
not sure I'm getting this bike back to the gas station, but I'm gonna try.
Godspeed. All right. We're going to go and get out of here. If you need anything, give me a call, all right?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is the radio clear?
Dispatch 125, 911 clear. Last heard Dickhead going southbound back into the city. Back in service. Believe it is now.
Do we know what vehicle description?
Unknown.
Units be advised the 13 Bravo at Desaya is code for transporting kit to CMC.
It's actually a good question. Shit.
Bob, did you grab the stolen cop car that was reported by Murphy Brown?
Yeah, Flop.
Hey.
It's possible the car was stolen.
What vehicle was he in?
The area afterwards.
It's like a black, it was like a black, like, crunched up sedan or like a hatchback. I forget. It's like a soccer mom type car.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. He didn't pull up in a cop car, or there was no other cop car in the area,
No.
right? Okay.
No.
All right. All good. I appreciate it.
All right. No
All
worries.
right. Thank you.
We're
Bye-bye.
UTL and everything right now. I'm in a 1060 club that literally just drove in front of me as I was code 16 for Dickhead. Southbound Elgin, taking the squeeze down the stairs towards Center Street. Eastbound on Integrity Way. 9 MRPD southbound now, Little Bighorn.